on My 9 News.
Atlantic City cocktail waitresses who were serving drinks are now serving up a lawsuit.
They say they lost their jobs because of how they looked in their new uniforms. Uniforms some claim are just short of being X-rated. Karen Hepp has details.
Terry and Catherine and Nancy are great with a smile. The cocktail waitresses opened Atlantic City's first casino back in 1978, and they stuck with resorts through thick and thin. Foreclosure, new managers. Finally, in December, they thought things were looking up.
We had to reapply and be interviewed and audition and get rehired.
Just 24 of the former 79 cocktail waitresses made that cut. They thought they were in. Then this, the new Roaring 20s flapper uniform. Resorts is trying to capitalize on the success and the allure of the HBO hit Boardwalk Empire. The ladies were asked to model the uniform for a photo shoot.
The photographer said to smile, and so I was standing smiling, and then he took the camera, and he wasn't taking my face. He took me from the neck down.
A week later, Nancy, Catherine, Terry, and 12 others were fired.
You feel just humiliated. I've never been fired in my life.
Union leaders say it's discrimination. The hotel was clearly targeting middle-aged women.
Here's what Resorts has to say. All cocktail servers were given individual consideration, and the selection process was conducted in a fair and objective manner. I'm Karen Hepp, My 9 News.
Now we're taking on the firing of those waitresses in Atlantic City. Joining us are attorney Joshua Cohn and employee rights attorney Bruce Atkins. Women were asked to wear those outfits. Many of them lost their jobs. Bruce, what do you say to them?
The ages of those women were between 40 and 60. It certainly smells of age discrimination to me. The employer just wants to change its image, I guess, but at the expense of older women losing their jobs is a discriminatory act, in my opinion.
Josh, they were told, actually, that they could have other jobs. Isn't that enough?
Well, that might be enough. And the fact also is they weren't fired because of their age. They were fired because they didn't look good in the outfit based on the advice of a third party. So while age may be a protected category, how you look in a 1920-era's flapper costume is certainly not.
Can't private industry pretty much do whatever it wants to do nowadays, Bruce? I mean, these are different times we're living in, right?
I disagree. Discrimination, particularly in New Jersey, is a very strong law, and it's applied in a very liberal fashion. When you take something like this, and despite Josh saying a third party looked at it, you could also whisper in that third party's ear and say, I want to make sure the older women are gone in terms of the judging that they did. The fact that everyone is older is significant in terms of the overall outcome.
But Josh, this is a company that said we want to brand ourselves differently. We want to move to something more entertaining. We want each individual who comes in to be entertained. So if some women were not capable of entertaining the clients, does that mean that they were wrong?
Well, that's exactly the point here, is that the issue is how they look in the costume. And as I understand it, they were vetted from pictures from the neck down, and it were just the third-party consultant looked at the pictures, and some women didn't look good. And it's also important to note that they were given an opportunity to take other jobs. So in the end of the day, I'm not so sure that this is one of those on its face discriminatory actions.
Bruce, a few years ago, the Brigada actually asked some of their employees to sign a statement saying things like, if you gained a certain amount of weight, you could be dismissed. If something changed in terms of your body, the way your body looked. Is that right?
It does give rise to a course of conduct. Here, I believe the union is bringing a discrimination action against the hotel. And I think that despite Mr. Cohn's position, you have a situation where it impacts adversely a certain group of people.
Let's face it, do unions have the same kind of power they used to have?
There is a union for these women, and despite the fact that they were offered other jobs, who knows if the income potential is the same, if they've been in this position for some period of time and this is what they do, this is what they enjoy, it's not fair to them.
Joshua, fair or not?
Well, also the employer has some rights here, and so long as what the employer does is within the law, it's okay. And in this case, all we know so far is that there were some women that didn't look particularly good in a costume, and as a result, they were terminated. Those women may have been older. That's something that we may find out in the courts what happens.
Okay, we're out of time. Attorneys Atkins and Cohn, thanks for joining us.